Today, we're diving into something that a lot of us feel, but maybe don't have a name for. It's that immense pressure to be exceptional. We're going to unpack where that burden comes from and explore a way to escape it, a way to stop performing and start, well, just becoming. So let me ask you something, and I want you to be honest with yourself here. Were you the gifted child? You know the one, the kid who was always praised for being so smart, so talented, just ahead of the curve. Sounds like a compliment, right? But as many of us find out, it often comes with a pretty heavy hidden cost. And that cost has a name. It's called the gifted child complex. At its heart, it's this quiet, nagging belief that your value isn't a given. It's something you have to earn over and over again by being exceptional. It's the feeling that love and worth are conditional, and the condition is achievement. And this is where that label, gifted, starts to feel less like a gift and more like a curse. Because what started as a source of pride when you were a kid can twist into a source of deep, profound anxiety as an adult. It all boils down to this one simple, powerful line of code that starts running in the background of your mind. I must achieve to be worthy. It becomes your operating system. Every decision, every challenge, every relationship gets filtered through that one single question. Will this prove I'm good enough? And here's how that curse shows up in everyday life. You develop this constant need for external validation, for someone else to tell you you're doing a good job. Failure? Oh, failure is terrifying. It's not just a setback. It feels like proof that you're worthless. You can't even enjoy the journey because you're so obsessed with the destination, the outcome. And worst of all, your entire identity gets wrapped up in what you do, not who you are. So what's driving all of this? Underneath all that pressure is a very specific and very powerful fear. We can call it the terror of being ordinary. And this right here, this is the brutal black and white logic that traps the performer. If your entire sense of self is built on the idea that exceptional equals worthy, then what does that make the opposite? To this mindset, ordinary doesn't just mean average. No, it means worthless. There's no middle ground. It's either spectacular success or total oblivion. And this is just so crucial to understand. The constant striving, the chasing of accolades, it's not actually born from a pure love of the craft. So often, it's a frantic performance, a desperate attempt to distract from a deep-seated fear that without all the awards and achievements, there's nothing of value inside. It's all just a mask for an inner void. Okay, so that all sounds pretty heavy, but here's the thing. There is another way. There is a healthier, more fulfilling path forward, and we can call it self-becoming. This idea has some pretty deep philosophical roots. You can see it captured perfectly in this reinterpretation of Nietzsche. The point isn't to become some kind of Superman for everyone else to look at and admire. No, the real challenge, the real goal, is an internal one. To overcome your own fears and limitations so you can finally become who you truly are. And that's really the secret to understanding a concept that a lot of people get wrong. Nietzsche's Übermensch, or Overman, isn't about being some perfect, all-powerful figure. It's about a process. It's a continuous journey of growth, of creating your own values completely separate from what the crowd is cheering for. So let's define it. What is self-becoming? It's an internal journey. It's about turning your focus inward and asking, who am I really, instead of constantly asking, what does everyone else want me to be? It's about finding validation from the inside out, not the outside in. So that brings us to a really clear head-to-head comparison. Let's look at the performance of excellence versus the path of true self-becoming. I mean, this table just makes it crystal clear, doesn't it? Look at the motivation. On one side, you have the fear of being ordinary. On the other, you have a genuine passion for growth. The focus? One is constantly looking outward for validation, while the other looks inward for authenticity. And the result? This is the big one. Performing just puts a flimsy mask over that inner void. But self-becoming actually builds a solid inner core of self-worth. One path is about desperately trying to prove you're worthy. The other is about discovering that you already are. So at the end of the day, it really just boils down to this choice. You can live your life on an outer stage, putting on a performance that feels hollow, even when you get a standing ovation. Or you can embark on an inner journey, a journey that builds something real and makes you feel whole, no matter what the outcome is. So I'm going to leave you with this question to really think about. Just for a moment, imagine taking away the need to impress anyone. Take away that deep fear of just being ordinary. What would you do then? What would you create or learn or build just for the pure joy of it? What would you build if you weren't performing for anyone at all?